Hello again. You know what? I'm going to make this into a series, I think. I'm going to make this into a series, I think. So a lot of my vlogs are going to be located in the kitchen. Because I can. What a point! I don't actually know what I'm going to be talking about today. I know they're making a high definition version of The Last of Us. They're bringing that out for the PlayStation 4. Hopefully soon. So that'll be pretty badass. And basically it's just going to be, well, obviously The Last of Us, just better graphics and all that kind of stuff. I don't know what else they're doing to it because I only just heard about it recently and they've only just sort of announced it really. And it just seems like a really cool idea. So I'm very excited about it. What is Buckeye doing? Personally, I'm a big fan of high definition remakes. I think that it's a great way to bring life back into a game or just make the game a lot better than what it originally was. And I think it's great. I love it. Especially if it's an older game being brought into a newer engine or just polished off or something like that. It's just great to see that they can do that. I'm fascinated by the technology. That's part of the reason why I enjoy high definition remakes. Noodles, that's what I need. I tend to go through this phase where I will just make one type of food for a long time or eat something for the longest time, eat or drink it, whatever, and then I'll just suddenly change my mind and just start to eat or drink something else. And then I eat or drink that forever and then decide that, well, hey, I want to change again, and I do it. You'll notice that that's exactly what will happen. And just, go from there and see how we go and stuff, you know? Yeah, cool. So, talking about The Last of Us again, one of the things that really freaks me out about The Last of Us, and actually genuinely freaks me out, is the fact that it's not just like a common virus or something that has already been done and used in any sort of post-apocalyptic scenario, or it's not just a regular zombie. For those of you who are not familiar with The Last of Us, it basically revolves around a fungus that when it infects people, it turns them into basically zombies, but it's not really, they're more of a mutation, so slash zombie, so it's a kind of infection slash zombie thing happening. It's kind of difficult to explain. I mean, they are zombies, but not your traditional kind of zombies. They're just crazy. They've only got one thing in mind, and that's just to kill the fuck out of you. It's creepy because there is actually a fungus that exists that infects insects that basically takes over them. It takes that premises and applies it to the possibility of such a fungus being able to do the same thing, but in human beings. Once you inhale the spores, it infects you, and then shit goes wrong. I mean, just the idea of something taking over you or infecting you in some way, like killing you and bringing you back, or basically eliminating everything that is to do with you, but then using your vessel as a tool to kill, is a really disturbing thing, either to kill or to consume. That's a really disturbing concept in any kind of scenario, and that's part of the reason why I find zombies and things to be rather creepy. But for some reason, I'm not as creeped out by zombies as I am about stuff to do with that is a convincing thing, like a fungus or some other thing that does pretty much what happens to the people in The Last of Us, that you confront, that they're infected by this thing, and there's just no controlling it. There's no cure, there's no anything. And they really play out the whole survival horror thing really, really well. I mean, there is shooting and stuff involved, but your ammo is limited. You got to scavenge for things, and these things you can build other weapons with them, or at least modify certain things. And so you really get the idea that you are in a place alone, or with just one or two people by your side, and you're all trying to get resources and things, and it really just gives you that feel of hopelessness, really. And it really makes you go out there and look. When you find an item that, this item, even if it doesn't seem all that great, is valuable. A lot of games don't really pull that off that well, I find. You'll find an item, you're like, oh yeah, I found 1,000 of these, whatever. But in The Last of Us, it's different. It's like, oh, I found this, I have 2, but I'm going to need this one. And I know I'm going to need this at some point. And it might seem insignificant, but it's really, really relevant. Things like that really make the whole experience fantastic to me. And I recommend it for anybody that hasn't played it yet. And as I said, the high definition version really excites me because I'm like, oh, this is going to be good. There are people out there who don't enjoy it, that's fair enough, but I loved it. I thought it was great. I wish they would bring it out on other consoles and on PC though, because that way other people can also enjoy the experience as well, even though PC ports can often be questionable at best. But if they do a good job of it, which they have done with other games, it could be a hit on PC just as it would on the Xbox One or the Xbox 360 or any other console. Excuse me one moment while I put this on. La tra la la. I need to shave. You like my sexy body? Here you go. Dos. Seguro necesito un poquito más de agua. Entonces vamos a poner un poquito más de agua. Ah, sí, me gusta. Pero no hay bastante agua, entonces necesitamos más. Y ahora ponemos este agua aquí adentro. Así, y ahora tenemos bastante agua para la noodles. Okay. Throw the motherfucker on. Now put this in the microwave. Preferably without breaking the microwave. That'll be very nice, thank you very much. I'm fucking crazy. I don't have any drink in here. I do. It's always a good idea to wash your hands before you handle your food. Even if the food is in boiling hot water and you can't touch it, it's still a good idea to wash your hands. Because otherwise you might just become a Last of Us zombie. Okay, just think about that for a minute, okay? Good. And that doesn't scare you, maybe T-Virus? No, I think Resident Evil's been outdone. Or at very least done and dusted. Because zombies. Bet you thought I was a zombie for a minute there, didn't you? It's called acting. Amazing at it. There's complaints that this kitchen is too small. If it was, I couldn't do this. Oh yeah! Well, getting too old for that. I won't be doing that again. Too old to do that. So what else to talk about? You know what I'd like to see? A new Red Faction. I would actually like to see a game like Skyrim with Red Faction style destructible environments. Can you imagine running up to some guy in Skyrim and they run off into a house? They're like, you can't cast water. And then you just cast a fireball or just like yell at the house and it just explodes. Just burst down the door with an axe or something. That would be badass. You know, they're hiding in a wooden hut or something and they just burn it down. The possibilities are endless. And it'll be pretty difficult for the player too because you can't just go and hide in the house because they'll just blow it up somehow or they'll knock the door down. Can you imagine the kind of wars you could have? Just get like those ramming things and just smashing the castle doors down. That would really rock. But that might not happen in my lifetime. It's not to say that the Elder Scrolls games are bad, not by any standards. They are amazing games. The first one I played was the third game on the Xbox One, and I thought it was one of the most amazing looking games I'd ever played. And I didn't realise that you built up skill according to what you used. And I continued that into the whole franchise basically, and I love that. I think that that's much better than just going into your stats and saying, oh, I want more strength, more this, more that. It's more about what you do as opposed to putting numbers on things, which also works and it's also a lot of fun, but not quite what I'm saying here. Ew, Brussels sprout! Don't like Brussels sprout. And you did. I like them a little. I like it a little. I brought this Parmesan cheese out and I didn't use it. Ah well, maybe next time. Gonna have me some Pringles, like this. So yes. Right, I think that's everything. Thank you for watching, and I hope that you tune in for the next video, whenever the next video is, as I always say, and I think I did something in my back when I bent over then. Oh well. Bye.